पश्यैतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्यमहतीं च मूं व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येण धीमता.
O teacher, see this powerful army of the sons of Pandu, marshaled by your wise disciple, the son of Drupada. Watch the words. He's talking about his own brothers. He doesn't say my brothers. He says, see this powerful army of the sons of Pandu. Means he's showing a distance between him and the Pandavas. Then he says, son of Drupada is his brother-in-law. Draupadi's brother is his brother-in-law. And then he uses sarcasm, your wise pupil. He's jealous, he's bitter, and so it comes out as sarcasm. Now this is something that if you experience, and all of us experience that, you will only be unhappy. You cannot be happy as long as you see you create rift between people who are one. You know, there are people who enter a family and just break it up. There are others who play mediators and join people who are warring with each other. So Duryodhana is one such who sees otherness. And then comes, he says, mighty army that displays his insecurity. The fact is that the Kaurava army was at least 1.5 times stronger than the Pandava army, which is a huge positive. In addition to that, they had stalwarts like Bhishma and Drona, invincible. But he doesn't see that. He's full of fear. So anyway, with this verse, we start the next topic, 3 to 11, where Duryodhana speaks. Now coming back, fear. Fear comes from a sense of, number one, selfishness. Duryodhana was just too full of himself. And so you separate, you estrange yourself from everyone else. And then you're fearful, naturally. All over the Western world, you find the more developed they are, the more prosperous they are, the more luxurious their lifestyle, the more fearful they have, more security arrangements around them. So you can't afford to walk up the stairs because some alarm will go somewhere. So when you when you're a guest there in their homes, even if you turn in bed, the alarm may go, so you're paralyzed. Whereas here, when you come back to Bombay, it's such freedom. You can do what you like without some alarm going somewhere. Fear, selfishness. Fear comes from wrongdoing. When you violate your own conscience and do things which your conscience does not support, you are fearful. Unconsciously, you're fearful of the law of karma. And remember one thing, the law of karma will have its way. And it is just. You can get by from a human law, like recently the people accused of murder got away scot-free. That will not happen with the law of karma. You do something wrong, it will come back and hit you. So unconsciously, you know it. And therefore, whenever you do wrong, you're fearful. Third, ignorance. You're afraid of the dark, you're afraid of death because of ignorance. And we are full of ignorance. A person who understands what death is not fearful, is not afraid of dying. He is afraid of being born, because that's when the problem arises. And the last is otherness. Duryodhana is suffering from all four, therefore he's full of fear and insecurity. To the extent we are fearful, you have to look back into these four and say, where do I fall in this category? And pick yourself up. Remember one thing, think ill of a person. Do harm to your benefactors, and you've just had it. Shakespeare speaks of 3 kinds of crimes that 3 kinds of criminals. He says, one is a person who does harm to someone who has harmed him. So it's a kind of tit for tat. But he's still committing a crime. That's the best. Slightly worse than that is a person who does harm to a neutral entity. You pick up somebody, it's like terrorists. Pick up people whom they don't know, neutral entities, and just kill them. the worst kind of criminal is a person who does harm to a benefactor. And Duryodhana falls in that category. So therefore, he is full of fear. Next verse, 4.